Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to the Silicon Valley Center for Spiritual Living. Woohoo, yes. My name is Trudy McCanna, and I am the secretary of the board here. It is wonderful to have you with us. Today, Reverend Rasheryl is speaking, and we are so fortunate to have Tyrone, Cosey, and Thomas Hughes back as our musical guests. Thank you. Let's stand and sing our opening song.
On your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Good morning. My name is Marilee Lawson. I am a practitioner in training here at Silicon Valley CSL, and I'm just here to welcome you into service today. So I encourage you to close your eyes if that works for you, and just take a nice deep breath and come on back to home. Home within, spirit within, and home in community. Let the bowl and the vibrations bring you back.
And I invite you to just continue in this beautiful moment, hearing the resonance of the bowl, as I move into an invocation that anchors us more deeply in spirit as we begin the service. How good it is in this moment to know that there is only one, there is one presence, one power, one life. And that life is God, and that life is good. It is all that there is. How wonderful it is to acknowledge this one that we can call by whatever name, Spirit, Source, God, Father, Mother, whatever name we give it, it is all-powerful, it is indestructible, it is inexhaustible, it is all that there is, and it is everywhere present, expressing in, through, and as each of us. And so what I know then is that this time that we spend together in this container is blessed. It is blessed. It is a time of sacred joy, of making a joyful noise. It is a time of gathering together two or more to amplify the truth, to amplify love, to amplify peace. And so what we know in this space and in this place is that each one here is blessed, each one here is lifted, each one transformed, whether they are here in this physical place and space, watching online now or later, or anywhere in the world that this word is needed. I am knowing that there is a blessing and a transformation going on. And so I know that our time together is just beautiful today. That each one receives exactly what they need, the exact word, the exact note, the exact song, the exact lyric. And I know that each one who prepared this space, the production team, the volunteers, the beautification of the space, the beauty ministry, the music ministry, our beloved partners at UCC, every single person, our practitioner students, board members, volunteers, everyone, every hand, every heart that contributed is blessed, and so I'm grateful. And with deep gratitude, I release this word. It is complete. We say together, and so it is. And so it is. And we'll continue now with a sung invocation, and I think it's health, wholeness, and happiness.
Praise the good and raise the word.
Hello, family. Good to be back. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world, and there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through our very fears. For Spirit, God's Spirit is in this very room, is in this very room, in this very room. There's quite enough love for all the world. Yes, it is. And in this very, 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 very room, there's quite enough joy through all the world, and there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For Spirit, God's Spirit is in this very room, is in this very room, is in this very
How's that? Okay. So beautiful. I was so touched I turned my mic off and then forgot to turn it back on. Oh my goodness. So welcome, beloveds, to Silicon Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I am Reverend Rasheryl McCreary. I'm the spiritual director here, and I am just so glad to be here, so glad to see you. So glad to be here with everyone. And so delighted to have Thomas Hughes and Tyrone Cosey back as our musical inspiration. Just so beautiful. Oh my goodness. So there's a lot going on in the world, yes? You know, here we are. Is this only the second Sunday in 2026? Is that where we are? I feel like we've been here for months already. Oh my goodness, so much is going on. And so, you know, one of the things I've been talking about is how we've transitioned. If we look at the Chinese New Year, we've transitioned from the year of the snake, which is shedding all of this old stuff, right? And at the end of February, we'll be moving into the year of the horse, the fire horse, which is this turbulent, momentum energy, powerful energy that needs directing, right? That needs directing. But we're still in the process of shedding things that just no longer stand, no longer work in our lives and in the world. And so there's a lot that's up right now. As I was thinking about this month, I was thinking in January, we always are starting a new chapter. And so I wanted to talk about how do we create our next chapter? How do we get in the driver's seat of our lives and create what happens next? And last week, I talked about being plugged in and powered up. Do y'all remember that? Right? I talked about how we plug up our cell phones, like we wouldn't dare let our cell phones lose power, die, right? And if they do die, we freak out. We're looking, where's the charger? Where's the wall? Right? That energy comes up, and we freak out to plug up that cell phone. But we will let ourselves be empty spiritually, not plugged in spiritually, not powered up, not sourced spiritually, and then we run through life, right? We run through life. And so I talked about last week how the assignment for the week was to find ways to plug in every day, to charge your battery every day, your spiritual battery, just like you would your phone. So whether it's meditation or prayer, an act of kindness or whatever it is, right? And so this week we're talking about the source code within. And I love when Spirit gives me these titles for things that are not my jam because I'm not a tech person. Even though I'm in Silicon Valley, I can get my computer plugged up. That's about it. I can get through my email. So it always tickles me when I get these things. And I'm like, what does this even mean? Why am I talking about this? And so what I realized is, and I conferred with Scott back there to make sure I was correct in this, but in the tech world, a source code is it's the underlying instructions or programming that determines how a system behaves, right? So it's instructions that determine how something is going to behave. And so as I was thinking about this talk today and thinking about what I could possibly share with you about how we create our next chapter, I'm also looking around at the world, right? What is happening in our world, right? These ICE shootings that are happening, there's war that's happening, we're invading countries, and there's all of this stuff that the media chooses to focus on. And there's a lot of beautiful things happening in the world as well. And what we see mostly, what gets our attention right now, what's making us feel out of sorts right now, is these things that we're seeing that are explosive, that are divisive, that are not in alignment with what we teach and how we feel, not in alignment with humanity, right? With our humanity. And I began to think about, okay, so what is the source code, right? What's the underlying instruction? What's the underlying programming that is running this story that we're seeing over and over and over and over again? And if you think that what is happening now is new, go Google history. Look at history. This is not new. It's just very prevalent. We're able to see it because of social media. But the things we're seeing now are not new in history. Things like this have happened in our country, in other countries. right? We've seen this happen over and over and over again. So what is the source code, right? That source code that is running, and right now I'm speaking specifically to the unsettling things that we're seeing, the strife and violence that we're seeing. I'm speaking specifically to that. And I'm fully aware that there is a preponderance of good in this world. But right now, our attention is caught and captured by the amplification of violence and strife and them against us and divisiveness. Right? And so the source code underneath that has to be fear, has to be anger, has to be separation, has to be that somehow I am separate from you and you and you, and we are separate from each other. And so we have to compete and fight and dominate in order to survive on this planet because there's not enough. Right? Lack and limitation is part of that source code. And so we see that source code playing out in the world, everywhere. Everywhere. And it crops its head up and it becomes more amplified and it becomes more amplified. And we see these movements and these times in history where it has had disastrous results. And then the source code shifts back, right? It shifts back for a while. And then here we are again playing the same games, the same dumb games with the same dumb prizes, right? And so it's time to really examine that source code, like that programming of the world. And really, the danger is not so much the source code of the world as much as it is, are we allowing that to run us? And looking very carefully at that. Because we may not be harming our neighbor. We may not be part of the divisiveness, but looking carefully at ourselves, at our hearts, at our beliefs, at our own source codes, what's running us? Right? What's running our lives? What's determining? Is it lack and limitation? Is it that I don't have enough? Is it I'm not good enough? Right? Because if those things are running us, it contributes to the collective. Right? We might not be doing the things that we see out there that are horrible, but our consciousness, our code is supporting things that we do not want when we're not aligned with the divine source code. Are y'all following what I'm saying? Yes. And so this is what I really want to talk about today, and to really bring you into thinking about for yourself, what programming are you going to live by this year? What set of instructions are going to drive your world this year? Right? What beliefs, what stories are going to determine your actions this year? And this requires a nuanced look because, again, the folks in this room are not out beating people, shooting people, or starting wars. That's not what's happening in this room. But it requires a deeper look within ourselves to really get a sense of what is the programming running me, right? Because if I'm still running on an old tape that I'm not good enough, then I am contributing to a world that says that's a belief in separation. If I'm not good enough, if I know from this teaching I'm made in the image and likeness, not a pure spirit, and if I keep telling myself or behaving in ways that say I'm not good enough, that is out of alignment with the teaching. It's out of alignment with the truth. It's in separation, which then supports other separation energy on the planet. So no, I'm not running out, beating up people or doing all this stuff, but my programming is supporting separation. And separation is the code that's running the collective. You look different than me, you think different than me, you worship different than me, you're a different gender than me, you're different sexual orientation, you're different. And there's a big movement now that like only one way is the right way, only one group is the right group, and everybody needs to conform to that, right? And so really beginning to look at what are the instructions, what is the programming that's running me, right? Maybe it's lack and limitation. There's not enough. I don't have enough money. There's not enough money. There's not enough whatever, right? And so that's causing me to move through life and navigate through life where there not being enough. So then I got to hoard, and I got to keep it, and I have to do all these other things. And then that's actually supporting the energy, the source code in the collective that is hoarding, right? It's supporting the collective source code that says there's not enough resources. I got to go take resources from somewhere else. And we're like little cells in the collective. right? So when we get to the understanding and the truth and the knowing that, oh, wait, abundance is what I'm loaded and coded with. That's the true nature, the true way of life is abundance and overflow. When I get to that, then I begin to vibrate at the level of pure abundance of the divine source code. And when I vibrate as the divine source code, then it changes the vibration of the collective. But there is no other way. We can't be here in lack and limitation and then go, oh, those bad billionaires. And we're operating in lack and limitation, which is essentially saying, there's not enough, I got to hold on. There's not enough, I got to take, I got to hold on, I got to do all these things. It's all the billionaires are just a blown out version so we can see it. It's the same consciousness underpinning this. Can y'all feel what I'm saying here? Right? And so that is why we come together into this space, into this container to address our own consciousness, to get aligned, not in a blaming way, not in a shaming way, but realizing we are a cell in the collective body. And just like in our bodies, if one cell is off, or then another cell is off, and then you got a few cells off, that body is going to react. The systems in the body begin to react. It creates dis-ease in the body, right? So this is what we're about here, is really understanding, wait a minute, what is the source code that's running me actually? Right? Maybe there's not enough love, right? There's not enough love. I'm not worthy of love, or whatever it is, right? Maybe that source code is running. So I do covert things to try to get love, right? I don't operate in integrity with other people. Right? I don't operate in integrity in my relationships because I'm trying all these ways to get love because I believe there's a lack of love. And then we look out at the collective and we see this writ large everywhere, right? And so what I'm saying today is this is a magnificent opportunity at the top of the year to focus on the internal architecture of your world, to focus on the internal instructions that are running your world. Yes, goals are great, vision boards are great, all those things are external. If the internal code, if the source code is not the divine source code that's running us, all this other stuff doesn't matter. We see it time and time again, right? We see it in our lives, where we do the vision board, we do the thing, we want the thing, and sometimes we get those things and they're sustainable, and sometimes we don't get those things, or we have an experience of those, but it's not sustainable. Or we look up and go, how am I in this same relationship again? Like, what is happening? Right? Different play, different players, same script. Anybody had that experience? Yeah? I'm in the same show. How is this happening? Right? The characters just changed. I got confused for a moment, but I'm in the same show, and I'm saying the same lines. Right? I'm saying the same lines. It's like, what is happening here? Yeah? And so we have this opportunity at the top of the year to wake up and go, wait a second, what is really running me? What is really going on in here? And most importantly, what do I want to establish as my source code? Because that puts us in the power seat. That puts us in the driver's seat of our lives, right? To decide, okay, there is stuff going on in the world that I cannot control. There's stuff going on in the world that I can help shift, but I can't do it by myself, right? What I can control is how I respond to it. What I can control is how I am going to respond to this versus reacting to it, right? So years ago, when I was just graduating college, I started a nonprofit called the Living Legacy Project. And it was where I worked with young people, and I worked at elite private schools all the way to kids who were in, at that time we called them at risk, but kids who had lower opportunities but literally were at risk. And what I would do with these kids, and typically it was teenagers, like high school students, and what I would do is have them interview people in their families if they had access to those individuals, or people that inspired them, older people who inspired them if they didn't have access to someone in their family. And I would have them interview those individuals about hardships they had overcome in their lives. Because what I found, I was a teacher at a private school for a year, and what I found is that, teenagers think that what they're going through is the first time in history that has happened, right? Any of you had that with your teenagers? Yeah? The first time it's ever happened, right? And so what I wanted to help them understand is that they really were on a continuum in history, right? They're on a continuum. They're part of a continuum. And so the things they were experiencing, actually their grandparents had experienced, maybe even to a more amplified degree. I certainly had that experience. I grew up in Ohio, but I would visit my grandparents in Alabama, and when I would hear about the challenges they came through and walked through, it was really empowering for me, right? And so I wanted these kids to get a sense of there's something that happened before you, right? And so they would do these interviews, and we turn it into theater, and it would be like this big, big community thing, and it was amazing work. And why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because, why? Does anybody know where I started this? Okay. Because we're on a continuum, yes, but there was something else tied to this, but I got lost in the story. But here's the thing. It's not the first time, and with these kids, what I was seeing is they had internal programming from their environment, right, and from their families. And they had this programming that was driving their behavior and driving their beliefs and driving their actions. And one of the things I would say to them, and this is where I got to this story, one of the things I would say to them is, because some of these kids would be in families where there was intense drug addiction, where there was parental abandonment, where they might have been in the system, like some of these children. And then the children at the private schools had versions of that. They just had a lot more money, so it looked different, right? Like the whole family moves to Florida with the new wife and the new whatever and leaves the kid, in another city, another place. Like, so there would be these same kinds of things happening that just looked different depending on the socioeconomics. And what I would say to them is, you cannot change what is happening in the world. And many times you cannot change what is happening to you. But you can decide how you're going to respond to it, right? And it's not fair. And some of this stuff is not, life is not fair. The world is not fair. But you can decide how you're going to respond to it, right? And that helped them get to the place where they could at least make a choice about how they were going to respond to the circumstances and the stimuli in their lives. And that was an empowering lesson, and I would hear from them later. For many of them, I would run into them when I still lived in Ohio, and they would say how that was a turning point for them. Like maybe they could not stop the abuse at that moment, or they could not stop these other things, but it helped them understand they didn't have to be destroyed by it because they could make some choices about how they were going to navigate, right? And so that is what we collectively right now are facing. There are things that we cannot control, but we can control how we respond. And we can control how we create our next chapter. And it starts with the source code that we use to program that next chapter. So let's talk about the divine source code that is already within us. Because the beautiful thing that we know about this teaching is that we are already loaded and coded with the divine qualities of love and peace and joy and harmony, wholeness. We're already loaded and coded with that because we're made in the image and likeness and out of pure spirit. And so last week I shared with you in Ernest Holmes' What We Believe, which is his manifesto, his statement of this spiritual philosophy. He says, we believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. And he goes on to say that this divine being, this divine intelligence, it's not out there somewhere. He says we believe in the individualization of spirit in us. The individualization of spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of this one spirit. Right? So we are each loaded and coded with the divine qualities, with the power of God, with the peace of God, the love of God, the light of God. It's already within us. It's what we're made of. So we already have the divine source code within our very being. The question is, will we choose that as the source code that writes the rest of our lives? That writes January, that writes February, that writes March, and so on and so on. That's the choice that is before us. So frequently at the beginning of the year, as I referenced earlier, we think about external things like our goals, like what we want to get done. like what we want to achieve this year. And those are wonderful things to do. And many times we're derailed. I think the basic understanding is that we set these resolutions or goals in January, and by February, people are like, it's gone. Yes. And if you go to a gym, you'll know January, like everybody's there, like you can't even get on a machine. And then by February, it's like, oh, okay, where is everybody, right? So one of the statements I love by this woman named, a New Thought philosopher named Florence Scovel Shinn. Anybody know her? The Game of Life and How to Play It? Best book ever. We'll be talking about that later in the year. But Florence Scovel Shinn says, people think they are creating through their conscious mind, right? Creating their goals, creating their things, but they are creating through the subconscious. They're creating through the subconscious. So it's the code that's right beneath the surface. She says your word is your wand, meaning that the assumptions and the inner agreements are what we really live from. And that's what shapes what manifests in our lives. Yeah? And so my invitation to you today is to really think about, to really feel into, to really sense into how you can choose and program your life with the qualities of oneness or wholeness or abundance. Whatever I've talked about this before, your school of life, whatever your challenge is, the thing that you're really facing that's challenging you is your school of life, because that's a place where you can really learn. So I want you to think about for yourself, what do you want to do about that this year? Are you ready to let it go? Are you ready to really code your life, to create the program, to create the instructions for your life so that you can live it out the way you choose to, and so that your consciousness then becomes a part of the collective and helping shift the collective, because it starts at the consciousness level. And yes, we're in human form, and yes, we're compassionate to our neighbors, and yes, there are times where we're out and we're doing however Spirit moves us to do, and however Spirit moves us to be in this time. But marching alone is not enough to change anything. Yelling and screaming and raging is not enough to change anything. It's not enough. The change that we want to see in the world has to happen at a consciousness level, even as we tend to each other on a human level. And it has to start with the individual, and then it will break through in the collective. That is where we are now. That is the invitation the world is giving us. And that is the invitation that we're saying yes to here at Silicon Valley Center for Spiritual Living. We're saying yes to life. Yes to the source code of love. Yes to the source code of abundance. Yes to the source code of peace. Yes to the source code of oneness. That is our invitation. That is our invitation. So how are y'all feeling about what I'm saying today? Just tell me something. Yes. Yeah. And I'm not admonishing, I'm just, it's just so clear to me that we are all cells in this collective body. And we know how to get healthy. We know how to get healthy. You wouldn't be in this room if you didn't know and if you weren't practicing this stuff. And so now is the time to put away childish things and to get to what's real and what's true and what is your source code for the rest of your life, and certainly to create this next chapter. And only you can answer that. So I want you to sit with that question this week, to really sit with, what is the source code? What is the program? What are the instructions I'm giving to life, to my life, so that I can really live the life that I want to live, that I truly desire to live, in a way that's not only healing to me, but it transforms others around me, and it lifts them up. Yeah, are y'all with me on this? The world needs us. The world needs us. The world needs this teaching. The world needs this teaching. And I am so glad to be here and to be a part of this community, to move this out into the world, to amplify this message, because so many people feel powerless. That is the experience they're having. And we know that's not true. That's not capital T true. Yeah. Let's turn within. Oh, how good it is this morning just to settle down into the awareness of God as source. As God is the divine source code that runs all things, the source code that is wholeness and oneness, the source code that is love and light, the source code that is abundance and overflow, the source code that is everywhere. And how good it is to align with this truth right now, to know and sense and feel that each of us is made out of it, out of the one, out of the love, out of the light, out of the peace. Each of us created out of this. And so it is just delightful then to claim and to know a magnificent healing for each one in this space. I claim and know for each one that there is a mighty transformation happening, a mighty transformation happening. That each one is loaded and coated with abundance, financial overflow, with the perfect divine economy expressing through each household, through each individual, overflow, abundance, ease, and grace in finances. How good it is to know for each one the code of divine health and wholeness is revealing itself in the body temple. So whether there's a diagnosis or not, or things come and go, whatever it is, I am knowing wholeness in the body temple, a healing happening right now, transformation happening right now. And how good it is to know that divine source code of love expressing through every single relationship blessed, transformed, healed, whether it is individual, whether it's romantic, whether it's familial, whether it's friends, community, work, wherever it is, I declare healing in relationships, renewal, restoration, peace, mending happening. And so grateful to know this truth. And I speak the word right now for our beloved human family, knowing the presence of God is radiant through each one. And wherever there is strife, wherever there is violence, wherever there is ravaging and warring and raging, I claim the presence of love is there. God is there. God is there. And we see it. We call it forth. We bless individuals who are experiencing violence or loss anywhere on the globe, anywhere on the planet, anywhere in the cosmos. God is. And so I'm just grateful to know this truth this morning. I speak a special word in our beloved community for our beloved Sonia, knowing right where Sonia is, God is. Knowing right where Misha is, God is, blessing him and his family. And knowing right where Connie is, God is, blessing her, holding her, and that all is well. And anyone needing a prayer this day, I know they are covered and blessed by the truth that's spoken here, and I am grateful. And with deep gratitude, I release this word. It is complete. We say together, and so it is, and so it is. Amen.
Rev, every time I come here, I walk away with something loaded and coded. I love that. Please hold my beloved Felicia in prayer, affirmative prayer. She is resting and saturated with healing love and light as she becomes even more well. La 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 la. God is one of my originals. Wherever I am, God is. Dum, ba-dum, dum. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I choose to be, God is always right there with me. Wherever I am, wherever I am, wherever I am, God is. I go, God knows. Wherever I go, God knows. Wherever I choose to go, God has been there many times before. Wherever I am, wherever I am, wherever I am, God is. Yes, I have walked through the valley of lost appearances, lost in a raging storm of blinding fear. Then one day all the clouds burn away and the bright morning sun reappears. But first I open my heart to release the pain. Whenever I'm scared, God's there. Dum, ba-dum-dum. Whenever I'm scared, God's there. Whenever I choose to fear, I just remember only God is here. Wherever I am, wherever I am, wherever I am, God is, God is, God is. Come on, Thomas. Give this man a hand. Oh, wherever I choose to go, God is always right there in my soul. God is everywhere, within the earth and the air. My God is so, my God is there. My God is there. Is there. My God is there. My God is everywhere. My God is everywhere. My God is everywhere. My God is everywhere. My God is, my God, my God, my God, my God is everywhere.
My God is there.
My God, my God, my God, my God is everywhere. My God, my God, my God, my God, my God is everywhere. My God, my God, my God, my God, my God is everywhere. My God is everywhere. My God is there everywhere. Everywhere.
Thank you so much, Tyrone and Thomas and the praise team, Jenna Brown and Calvin Hatchett. So wonderful. Okay, it is time now for our conscious giving. And I just want to express such gratitude to each of you for your financial support of this magnificent center. It allows us to have this incredible music and this incredible space and to build the infrastructure to get this teaching out more into the world as we build our online presence. So thank you. So the baskets will be coming around. I invite you to please take the basket in your hand and bless it, knowing that you are blessing your own personal finances in abundance and blessing the finances of the center. So please do that when it passes you. And we're going to sing
Thank you for this day.
Thank You for This Day, and we'll sing it just till the offertory is complete.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends.
Oh, beloved, so just repeat after me, and you can put your hand to your heart as we bless this offering, as we bless our financial life. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. My financial life is blessed and overflowing. And the center's financial life is blessed and overflowing. God is good. Life is good. And so it is. And so it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our Director of Production, Scott McCauley, and our audio engineer, Hector Torres. And thank you, Marilee Lawson, for keeping us on time and on track. Yeah. And thank you, Morgan Marr, for our altar and sacred space setup. Thank you, Reverend Rasheryl, for your meditation service this morning. We started that again. It was so nice. And for your talk, obviously, that too. And we are so happy to have Tyrone Cosey back with us. He's an amazing vocalist, songwriter, and arranger who's been uplifting hearts through music and ministry for 35 years, over 35 years. And on keyboard back with us today is Thomas Hughes, sharing his musical gifts for decades as well, and brings such heart to every note. Let's give them both a big warm Silicon Valley welcome. Thank you both. And your praise team, of course, is the wonderful Kelvin Hatchett and me, Jenna Brown. Thank you. I mumbled it at the end, but I'm Jenna Brown also.
Thank you, Jenna. And now, some announcements. We sent out our weekly newsletter this past Friday in a brand new format. It looks great. Yes, and because of the changes, some email systems might not yet recognize it. So if you didn't see it in your inbox, please check your spam, junk, promotions tabs, especially if you use Gmail. And if you find it there, just mark it as not spam or drag it into your primary inbox so you don't miss future updates, because that's our primary vehicle for how we share what's happening at Silicon Valley CSL, and we want to make sure it reaches you because there's a lot going on, and I'm going to tell you about those things right now. You can find all of the information on our website, siliconvalleycsl.com. So, morning meditation. Join Reverend Rasheryl for morning meditations Monday through Friday from 9 to 9:30 a.m. on Zoom for a soulful, centering start to your day. The Zoom link can be found in your email or on our website. Pre-service meditation. Jenna, thanks for calling that out, that we invite you to arrive on Sundays now by 9:30 a.m. for our pre-service meditation time. Join us in person for a grounding meditation before Sunday service begins. Can you believe it? We are almost 1 year. We are coming up on our 1-year anniversary, Sunday, January 18th. So join us next Sunday for a very special Sunday gathering as we celebrate our first anniversary together. It's going to be a beautiful milestone moment for our community. And there is a big, bold vision board workshop coming up. We'd like to invite you to join our big, bold vision workshop facilitated by Reverend Rasheryl. This is happening on Saturday, January 25th Sunday, January 25th. Sunday, January 25th from noon to 2. And this is more than making a vision board. It's a guided spiritual practice for clarity, alignment, and momentum as you step into the year ahead. Doesn't that sound good? Oh, that's a good way to start the year. You'll be led through visualization and spiritual visioning, get clear on what you're calling in, and create a vision board that helps turn intention into action. This is an in-person workshop. The location will be announced soon. And you will please bring your own supplies, poster board, magazines, images, markers, scissors, glue, tape, all the stuff that you enjoy creating with. The investment is $49, and you can register on our website. If you are curious about becoming a member of Silicon Valley Center for Spiritual Living, we invite you to join our new member workshop, facilitated by Reverend Rasheryl. This welcoming in-person workshop takes place Sunday, February 1st from noon to 1:30. You'll be introduced to our core spiritual teachings, our shared vision and values, and have space to explore areas of your life that you're ready to transform and the impact that we all create together in the world. There's no cost to attend, but we do ask that you register. You can do that on our website or from that link in the weekly newsletter. And for those of you who choose to become members, our new member installation will take place during the Sunday gathering on February 22nd, which is an important date because February 2nd is also our annual member meeting. We have a lot going on. I'm losing my breath. Okay, so Sunday, February 22nd, from noon to 1:30 is our annual in-person membership meeting. And this is a time for us to reflect on our first year together, share our vision for the year ahead, ask questions, and engage in meaningful community dialogue. Attendance is part of our membership commitment, and existing members will be asked to vote on key items that will shape our path forward. The location will be announced shortly. And we are so fortunate as a community, aren't we, to have Reverend Dr. Sherry, who offers personal prayer for us after service. If you would like to receive prayer, please add your name to the prayer sign-up sheet that's in the back table there, and you will be called in the order you signed up. For private prayer requests, you can also write them down and submit them confidentially in the prayer box. And next week, our musical guest is Margot Leduc. So Margot will be back next week. Did I miss anything? Was there anything else more in the world? That was a lot, right? Thank you. It's exciting to see everything we have going on. Shall we welcome some new members, some new visitors, first-time visitors? Oh, okay, anyone here for the first time? Who's here for the first time? Welcome. Would you be willing to tell us who you are and how you found us? Oh, wonderful, lovely. So, welcome. It's wonderful to have you. And I think Morgan has a little gift for you. Yes, hi, welcome. Could you tell us? Great. She does have quite a scene here. Yes. Wonderful. Well, welcome. Nice to have you, Dave.
Can you all hear me now? Hello? Hello? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm good.
Anything else for first-timers?
No, first-timers, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I will run out to hug you right after service is over. And I invite you, if this resonates for you, to come back, bring some friends.
And the other thing I wanted to say is I have to go to a board meeting right after this, so I won't be in this space long. I do need to meet with the music team and the production team really quickly, if we can just come up here. I just want to meet with y'all about that. The other thing I want to say is that if you are interested in membership, because some of you have reached out to me, please, you need to RSVP online, right? So if you want to be a member, most folks are members already, but if you want to be a member officially, please RSVP. And our music ministry is looking for, we're looking for musicians. Our beloved Misha will not be able to continue with us. He has some family things that he needs to focus on, and so he will not be coming back for now. So we are looking to strengthen our music ministry, and if you know musicians, particularly keyboardists, you know, we would love to have them. I'm not pressuring anyone, though. Okay, that's all I have.
Let's sing our closing song together.
All right. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
So, thank you. If you'll just repeat after me. I am aligned with the divine source code.
I am aligned with the divine source code.
I program my life for ease and flow.
I program my life for ease and flow.
Oh, I'm grateful for everything that is unfolding in my life.
I'm grateful for everything that is unfolding.
And I create my next chapter with joy.
And I create my next chapter with joy.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Have a good week, everybody.